Hey, this is Math Minutes Pro with Dr. Harrison. Today we will talk about how to convert the equation of a line written in slope-intercept form to standard form and vice versa. That is, how to convert the equation of a line written in standard form to slope-intercept form. Now, these equations are linear equations. That means the highest exponent of x is 1. It's a straight line. So first, let's begin by writing the equation of a line in standard form. That is written as a times x plus b times y equals c, where a is a coefficient, b is a coefficient, a number, and c is a constant. Now, slope-intercept form is written in this way. Y equals m times x plus b, where m is the slope of a line and b represents the y-intercept. All right, so we're going to have some fun with this. Let's go ahead and start first by converting the equation of a line written in standard form to slope-intercept form. So let's say we're given an equation, 3 times x minus 2 times y equals negative 16. This is standard form. A is the coefficient 3. B is the coefficient negative 2, because if we rewrite that, 3x minus 2y can be written as 3x plus a negative 2y. And C, the constant, is negative 16. So, to convert this equation in slope-intercept form, that means we need to solve for y. We need to solve for y, okay? So we need to get rid of 3 times x and the negative 2. First, let's get rid of this term, 3 times x. All right, so I'm going to write this again. 3 times x minus 2 times y equals negative 16. And I'm going to do the opposite of positive 3 times x. I'm going to take it away, minus 3 times x. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other, minus 3 times x. And we're adding down, so that crosses out. 3 times x plus negative 3 times x is 0. Bring down negative 2 times y equals, I'm going to bring this one down first, negative 3 times x minus 16. I could have written negative 16 plus a negative 3 times x, but I want to get it set up where x comes first, is the first term, okay? Now, we're almost there. We need to get rid of that negative 2, and then we'll get y by itself. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 2 is to divide by negative 2. So I'm going to write this again. Negative 2 times y equals negative 3 times x minus 16. And I'm going to divide, the division property of equality. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. Divide that by negative 2. Divide this by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. That crosses out. We get y equals. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So that's going to be positive 3 over 2 times x. And then we have negative divided by negative again. So that's going to be positive or plus 8. 16 divided by 2. Or negative 16 divided by negative 2. So we have successfully converted this original equation, 3 times x minus 2 times y equals negative 16, which is in standard form. We've converted it to slope-intercept form. Y equals 3 over 2 times x plus 8, where 3 over 2 is m, which is the slope, and 8 is b, which is the y-intercept. Now let's go ahead and do the opposite. Now we're going to convert an equation that's written in slope-intercept form to standard form. All right? So here's the equation we're given. Y equals 11 over 4 times x and minus 8. Now in this particular problem, what we want to do is convert this, which is written in slope-intercept form. The slope is 11 over 8, and 11 over 4, and the y-intercept is -8. Now notice it says plus b, but this can also be written as y equals 11 over 4 times x plus -8. So in that case, the y-intercept is -8. Now, what we need to do is we need to convert this equation such that we have x and y both on the same side of the equation, and then the constant c on the other side of the equation. Okay? Now notice we have, first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the fraction. Okay? So to do that, I'm going to use what I call the fraction buster. I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by the number in the denominator. So first let me rewrite this equation. And then I'm going to multiply everything by the fraction buster. Fraction buster is the number in the denominator. Okay? So multiply everything by that 4. So 4 times y, you got it, is 4 times y. Bring down the equal sign. 4 times 11 over 4. 4 times 11 is 44. 44 divided by 4 is 11. So I could just simply cross that out and bring down 11. Don't forget the x. Bring down the minus sign. Now multiply 4 times the 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Now let's look and see where we are. Now, we do not have the x over here. We need it over here on the left side. It's on the right side of the equation. So let's go ahead and do what we need to do. Let's go ahead and subtract 11 times x, which is the opposite of positive 11 times x. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side of the equation. So that's minus 11 times x. That crosses out. 11 times x plus negative 11 times x is 0. So then we're going to add down. I could write 4 times y plus a negative 11x, but I want the x to be first as it is in standard form. So I'm going to write negative 11 times x plus 4 times y equals negative 32. So look at that for a moment. If you notice, that equation is almost in standard form, but the leading coefficient here is it's positive, so we have a negative leading coefficient. So we just have one more step. We're going to see that negative as a -1, okay? So I am going to write this equation again, and I'm going to multiply this entire equation by -1. First, let me write it again. 11 times x plus 4 times y equals negative 32. Remember, I said I'm going to multiply everything. In this case, don't forget that negative is right there. I'm going to multiply everything by -1. Okay? So, -1 times negative 11x, that's going to give us positive 11 times x. Very good. -1 times 4 times y. Negative times a positive, that's going to give us -4 times y. Bring down the equal sign. -1 times negative 32. A negative times a negative is a positive. It's positive, so that's positive 32. Now let's check. We have 11 times x minus 4 times y equals 32. The coefficient of x is 11. That's a. The coefficient of y is 4, or -4. That could be b, and that's b. and then we have the constant, which is c. Now, I could write this as 11 times x plus, where the plus is there, negative 4 times y equals 32, but I'm just going to leave it right here for now. So we got so much writing. This is our final answer. We have successfully converted a linear equation originally written in slope-intercept form to standard form. All right? So thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page in my video description below. On my Patreon page, you can get access to exclusive math lessons, study tips, live Q&A, and more. See you next time.